It took me a second, not gonna lie. I had to really dive into that one.
How many times have you thought you had it?
There's been a couple of times, not since we've been quarantined, but I had pneumonia at the start of February. So like I was in San Francisco in January, they diagnosed me with pneumonia the first week of February. So I've thought I've had it since, like once it came out, I was like, oh, it's pneumonia symptoms. Well, I had a very, very mild case of pneumonia. So I thought I had it then, but since that, absolutely nothing.
There's been like 6 or 7 times where I thought I had it. Like one big stretch where I was like, I never get sick. So, and then all of a sudden, like I just was run down and coughing and just not feeling good. So I thought for sure I had it.
Every sniffle, every time I have a cough, I'm like, oh God, I've got it. So it's like probably once every 2 or 3 days. So I've had it about 40 times.
Are we gaining weight or losing weight? And are we plus or minus 15 pounds?
I am gaining 100%.
The quarantine 15.
Just had to go put on a diet because I'm looking at myself. I'm like, this isn't pretty. I mean, I wear a tight enough jersey as is. I can't afford to gain weight.
I haven't gained weight since I was like 21. I've been plus or minus like 4 pounds from my current weight for my entire adult life. So
what's been your most embarrassing online purchase in lockdown?
I went to CVS the other day. Well, like right before we got really shut down, and I bought a pregnancy test, condoms, and diapers, and I put them on the counter, and the CVS person looked at me and they were like, I think you're mixing up some steps here. I was like, hey, we've got all these problems all at the same time, so don't judge me. Just take the cash.
Yeah, I bought a 4-pack of Vegemite.
Oh, nice. Were you inspired by Tom Hanks?
So I got my Vegemite, and I've been having it on my toast because if you ever feel under the weather, a nice slice of toast with some thinly like smeared on Vegemite can solve everything.
Which current or former teammate would you be most worried about slapping 5 with again?
Houston Street would be mine. The guy, he's an animal, but he like used to say that it builds up antibodies. Him like not washing his hands. Absolute gentleman, but he's like, look, I'm just building immunities. My body's getting stronger. I'm fighting things off. So I'm not sure how he's handling this, have to wash your hands stuff.
Kevin Millar. He's just like one of those guys where like he probably thinks that he's invincible to it, Like he's going around and like wiping people's noses when they like sneeze. He's like, I got that. Let me get that with my fingers. Like, and then just wiping it on his jeans, and then he's just fine.
I got to go with someone who doesn't wear batting gloves when they hit. So like Stephen Vogt, just because he doesn't wear batting gloves, and I'm pretty sure his second layer of skin is just pine tar. Greatest guy ever, washes his hands religiously once he's done. Like it's unbelievable how he's not got cracked skin, but pine tar everywhere all the time.
It's good when you're pitching and he's your catcher.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Is Rob Manfred watching?
I don't understand even what you guys are talking about.
Another good answer would have been Antonio Alfonseca because he's got a little more surface area.
That extra digit.
That was my favorite. Jim Leland was my manager, and he was closing, and we'd go out after a win, and he'd come through the line, and Jim Leland would say, "Give me 6." It was so great.
Who's the most famous person who has checked in on you since Corona came along?
I'm not that cool, Scott.
Is it me, Jerry?
It might be you, I think.
Oh, that's a terrible answer.
Outside of the baseball world, it might be you. Oh, I've got a buddy, Paul Soder. He's one of the Broken Lizard guys. We're pretty close. He's a big baseball fan. So there you go. Does that count?
Sure. Broken Lizard. Yeah.
I'd say probably Tom Morello. Tom called, texting with him, checked in.
Yeah.
I was just making sure his mom Mary's up there in age and making sure she was doing all right. She lives up in Libertyville, but she's out in California with them. So
there you go. Listen, it's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. You've given me so much of your time. I actually was texting Michelle, Jerry. She's got an early call time, so she's already in bed. We'll pass the Michelle Collins call. I know. I'm disappointed too.
I answered for her, and she can't do it for me. That hurts.
Do you have anyone you could throw out there? She said, give them all my personal number.
I might have to go lower on the list now that she didn't call back in.
Uh-oh. I'm going to play this back for her. But do you have any, and this applies for, I guess, any single lady out there. Michelle happens to be very funny and tall. So it helps to, have a tall guy connect with her. But any single guys in your life, ball players that you can maybe recommend, the ladies of America watching right now should be sliding safely into their DMs.
I mean, my most famous teammate that's still single, I'd have to go with Syndergaard, the king of the shirtless bullpens, a fellow, you're a Met fan. I'm sure his DMs are wide open for you guys.
Jerry, I've actually been out with Noah a couple times. He's doing all right. I don't think he needs any help.
We used to take, like, when he first got called up, we used to take the 7 train into Queens together, and I bet, like, by his third start, he couldn't take public transportation anymore. It was like, first of all, he's so big and he looks like somebody anyway, even if he wasn't a pitcher. Somebody'd be like, who is that giant? And then you add to, we're on the 7 train going, they're like, that's who that is. And you can just hear the entire train. You can start seeing people coming from other trains that have texted their friends, and Noah's like starting to get surrounded. So yeah, Noah's also, he's wide open in the DM section, I believe.
Hey, on those trains, did anybody ever say, no, it's the guy from Die Hard, the one upstairs that John McClane beats up?
I used to get Ross from Friends when I had shorter hair. In New York, one of the first days I was there as a Met, somebody came up to me and I was like, oh yeah, somebody recognized me. He's like, you're from Friends, right? I was like, yep, let me sign this. David Schwimmer. I gave him an autograph, wrote it out. So.
Isolate Night with Scott Rogowsky, live every Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern.